before you get to water crossing, there's some precautions you can take with your vehicle. Let's talk about that. First of all, everyone sees the snorkel. Well, let's get rid of some misconceptions. First of all, the snorkel primarily is for clean air and cool air, not necessarily to keep water out of your engine, though that is one of the major benefits. But in addition to the snorkel, if you're going to go through some deep water crossings, you also want to install a diff breather and a transmission breather. And here's the deal with the diff breather, the differential breather, and the transmission breather. Differentials have a factory breather, but they're about that tall, and they're a one-way valve, and it allows air to come out but not to go in. And when there's a pressure differential, not differential, but when there's a pressure differential, the valve closes to prevent air from going in or water from going in and things of that nature. It's a one-way valve. Well, what happens when you go through a water crossing is your differential is hot, and that means it's expanding and there's pressure. When you dive into cold water, the air that's in there quickly contracts and it creates a vacuum that slams down that one-way valve. And what can happen is through the axle seals at the end, that suction can actually pull in water. So you'll get water into your axle, and then you'll have a drivetrain that's contaminated with water. So that's one of the primary reasons for having a breather. If you have the breather tube and it goes up high in your firewall, then it can stay open. When it breathes in, it's not going to suck in any water. It allows for the air to come in and out, but it's up high, so it's out of the water, and you prevent water ingress through axle seals and things of that nature. Don't forget your transmission. Everybody does the front and the rear differential, but if you really want to do it right, you got to do your transmission as well. So in order to go through deep water crossing, not only should you have something like a snorkel if your air box is low enough that water could get in there. You want to have a snorkel, you want to have front and rear differential breathers, and you want to have a transmission. I think I can make it.
Dad, you should check it.
I don't know. I know we're alone out here and we've never done this before, but I think if we're careful, we can do it.
Dad, you gotta check it. Remember that one time you got stuck in the mud and they had to pull you out?
It's cold. Something just brushed past my leg. Okay, it's not always pleasant, but especially if you're traveling alone, if you haven't gone through the water crossing, you got to check it out. The last thing you want to do is be stuck out in the middle of the water. As soon as you stop moving, water is going to flood in, both in the passenger compartment and in your engine compartment, and you can do permanent damage. So you got to check it out and make sure it's not too deep, or there's not something about the terrain that's going to mess you up when you're in the middle of the water. Okay, now the way to do the water crossing is this. You want to create a bow wake in front of your vehicle, and you want to time your momentum so that you stay just behind the bow wake. What that does is it moves, the bow wake actually lowers the height of the water, the depth of the water around your vehicle as you push that water away, and it'll prevent the water from coming into the passenger compartment and into your engine compartment, so long as you keep a nice steady speed behind that bow wake, and I'll show you what we're talking about. Whatever you do, Don't get a running head start and go diving into the water. That's the wrong way to do it. That can splash water up into your engine compartment, into your distributor, possibly kill your motor and do other things that you don't want. The only time I would really suggest getting a running head start is if you have to get across, it's a fairly narrow river and it's moving quickly and you want just a little bit of momentum to shoot through. That's the only time I'd say to give that a try. But get behind that bow wake. It takes a little bit of finesse, and keep it nice and steady as you go through. All right, let's do it. Okay, just like that. Hey, Blue. So keep a bow wake, keep your momentum. Timing it so that the bow wake is right in front of your rig is essential. That way you draw the water away from your vehicle and it won't bog your engine down. Now, confession time. We've run this 3 times today to get the various shots. And on the last time, I didn't have the bow wake in front of me. I bogged down and I killed it right in the middle of the water. So then I just finessed it. We finally got it started. We got out and then dried out the distributor and we're good to go. But you got to be careful. You got to keep your momentum up, and getting that bow wake just right in front of your vehicle is key. All right, you guys. Hey, thanks for joining. I hope it was useful. Subscribe if you liked the video, and until next time, outfit and explore.